for Monday night.
Remember that National Vote Early Day is October 24th. For more information, visit IamAvoter.com.
Giants about to go up 11 points. Wentz rolling, looking, firing. Touchdown, Eagles. Scott, touchdown. The ball is fumbled. Eagles have it. Eagles have it. This win may have saved the Eagles season.
Talk about the wild NFC East. My goodness. The Eagles trailed the Giants 21-10 with 6 minutes, 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Philly then scores twice in the game's final 5 minutes to secure the comeback. As you might imagine, Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz were like, man, that was a relief to get that win. It's a relief to get any win in the NFC East. We're all still trying to figure all that out. Anyway, Key, what did you take away from Wentz's performance last night?
I mean, okay, so first of all, let me say this. It was the Giants. But he did what he was supposed to do. You know, he delivered the football in sync at times, and he looked like a $128 million quarterback. But it was the Giants.
There's the but.
And when you look at it, though, he made a couple bonehead plays that made you scratch your head, but he also made a bunch that made you go, okay, I see what they're talking about when he gets the time and the opportunity. And that was the key. Late in the game, hitting Boston Boston Scott on the wheel route against Jabril Peppers for the touchdown. Also finding Ward in the corner on the speed out. So when you start to look at those sort of things, you're like, okay, he's good. I mean, he's good. As long as you can protect him, he's good. But it was the Giants.
It's a big but. Marcus.
I just always want to know if Carson Wentz is going to stay in the space of being the guy that is worthy of that contract that Key mentioned. Or is he going to have 2 or 3 times a game where you like, what in the hell is this dude doing? Because that rollout and that throw up in the end zone was one of the most perplexing plays I've seen all season long. No reason to. The second thing is Carson Wentz is athletic. I don't understand why he panics so much in certain situations. Now, on the flip side, he made throws, and I got to give my boy Dan some love because, you know, he probably sitting there smiling, and he was nervous as hell if they lost this game to the Giants. I was hoping he'll, like, make a guest appearance in case they lost. He makes those throws where you say, who? It's only a few guys in the league that can do that. And that's the Carson Wentz that Philly is going to need. Let's be honest, y'all. Like he said, that's the Giants. But if you plan on winning this division and continuing on and having a shot in the playoffs, Carson Wentz is going to have to be 85 to 90% of the guy that got the $120-something million contract as opposed to it being maybe 60-40.
I think that's an accurate sort of assessment of Carson Wentz. He did some boneheaded stuff. He made some beautiful throws. I actually found myself a little bit more frustrated last night with Doug Peterson and some of the play calling in the red zone, particularly on that series in the fourth quarter. They were down 14-10. You got 3 runs. There's an option to Hurts. Actually didn't mind that. Now we're going to get a draw. Okay, and here's where I lost my damn mind, Marcus. 4th down, what do? The lowest percentage play in football, the goal line fade. My life's mission, you guys, everyone, please listen. Stop calling the goal line fade. It doesn't work, okay? It almost never works. And if you're gonna call it, which you shouldn't, don't call it to a tight end. They changed his position. A tight end who prior to that moment had as many snaps, not targets, snaps for the Philadelphia Eagles as me. Nina Kimes. Why would you throw it to Hakeem Butler in that moment, Doug Peterson? What were you thinking? I'm glad you won, but that had me pulling my hair out.
Mina hates the goal line fade if you haven't figured it out. The Eagles have now won 8 straight games against the Giants. Sorry, Giants, that's the second longest streak in the series. All right, let's get to some injuries and some other things we need to know. Field Yates now here for that. Some crucial injuries, in fact, we're not doing that. We're actually going to Daniel Jones falling down, which should be an injury itself, but I'm glad he's okay. So let's see that instead. Come on, guys. Daniel Jones is going to run down the field, and I need a full play-by-play on this moment right here. Keyshawn, go. Marcus, what happened?
What happened was, it's everything you expect from Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is Daniel Jonesing right there. That's exactly what he's doing. Everybody talks about how successful this kid can be athletically if he keeps on hanging on to the ball. This is a perfect situation of what Daniel Jones is giving you right now. Even Saquon, like, that's Daniel Jones.
Mina, what do you think?
I want to be clear. I was not laughing there at Daniel Jones. I was laughing at us cutting to the play instead of injuries. Man, I don't know. He should have faked an injury, though. I got it. Like, if that was me and I was out there and I pulled up like that, I'd be grabbing my hammy, saying, "Oh man, that I think I tore something in that moment." The thing is that we're overlooking the fact he made an incredible play. Daniel Jones is extremely athletic. He turned on the Jets.
He was clocked at like 21 miles per hour. It's insane. By the way, just to be clear, it was fully on me. I was basically Daniel Jones in the show right now, trying to get to that. They were telling me to go to it, and I forgot and wanted to go to Field Yates instead. So I want to be fully clear. As you can see, look at this 20-plus mile per hour max speed as a ball carrier. Daniel Jones.
I'm not going to believe that.
He's ahead of Lamar Jackson at 21.2.
I'm never going to believe that.
Why? Key, it doesn't lie. He was clocked at 21.2 miles.
I can't believe it. I ain't going to believe it.
All right, well,
challenge him to a race.
We really wanted to get Field Yates in here for these injury reports, so let's get right to it and talk to me about some crucial injuries in question. Michael Thomas, an update that you just got.
Yeah, no longer a question there, Lauren. As we suggested during the beginning of the show, Michael Thomas officially out on Sunday for the New Orleans Saints as both that ankle and that hamstring issue, perhaps more importantly, that hamstring issue that's bothering him. So no Michael Thomas, no Emmanuel Sanders on Sunday for the New Orleans Saints. Now let's get to some other injury updates, and we start with Joe Mixon for the Bengals. Joe Mixon has missed practice all week because of a foot issue. He's officially out on Sunday. Now, what does that mean for the Bengals? It means Giovanni Bernard will step into a familiar role, stepping up as the replacement starter. Check out his mustache if you have not yet already. It's glorious. Aaron Jones for the Green Bay Packers got injured on Thursday during practice. It's a calf issue, and head coach Matt LaFleur said today, despite the fact that Aaron Jones did not practice, this would be more of a questionable than a doubtful designation. Sounds like a game-time decision on Sunday for Aaron Jones, but he does have a chance to play. He's been awesome so far this season. Moving along to DeAndre Hopkins, it's an ankle injury, and Laura, get used to this one. He might not practice that much during the week, and it won't matter. Let's be clear, the guy's been incredible. He is going to play on Sunday. He has 601 receiving yards in 6 games. I'm no math major, but that's over 100 yards per game for DeAndre Hopkins. He will be good to go for the 4-2 Arizona Cardinals, and he might have a day. Sorry, Mina, that Seahawks secondary still leaving a lot to be desired this season.
Yeah, Field, what is also the latest with the Raiders O-line ahead of their game against the Bucs?
Yeah, so as we all know, this is the big situation we're monitoring as it pertains to COVID this week. And 4/5 of their offensive line is on the reserve COVID list, but not because of a positive test. Now, that being said, head coach John Gruden was asked today about the chances he'll have those 4 starters along the offensive line available on Sunday. He said, I do believe those men have a good chance to play on Sunday. So, we will not see Trent Brown, their right tackle, who remains on the reserve COVID-19 list. But based off the NFL's updated protocols as it pertains to players that have an exposure to somebody else who is positive, there is a good chance we'll see the likes of Colton Miller, their left tackle, and Rodney Hudson, their outstanding center, and the other 4 starters along that offensive line. And you guys don't need me to remind you that against that Buccaneers defensive front, that is essential. Otherwise, they'd be in big trouble.
Yeah, they've done a really nice job protecting Derek Carr this year as well, so I'm sure he's hoping they can be out there in full force. We got more coming your way on NFL Live. Coming up with a matchup of the only 2 undefeated teams in the AFC. Will Derrick Henry and the Titans continue their dominance, or will Big Ben, the Resurgence Tour, make its way to Nashville? Find out who we're picking next. We'll be right back on NFL Live. Whoa.